excited about today.
Okay, thank you, dear. Okay, so now let's together with Japa Saraswati.
Excited.
Can we begin?
Yeah, let's tune in.
Okay. Here we are. And inhale. Namo Namo Gurudev Namo Adgare Jagate Name
Satguru Namah Siri Gurudev Namah Adgare Namah Jagate Namah Satguru Namah Siri Gurudev Namah Adgare Namah Jagate Namah Satguru Namah Siri Gurudev Namah.
Breathe. And inhale. Exhale. And breathe. So, Japa Saraswati.
Satnam. Shall we read your message?
Yes.
I'm just gonna send it, post it so that it is available for us to read. Hold on one second. Okay. It is on all of our text messages now, except oh, yes, it's on all of our text messages right now. So
Okay.
I will just read it. Is that good?
Good.
Okay. I have to find it first.
Did you put it in the chat?
It is.
I don't see it.
Try refreshing your page. I sent it. I'm
Oh.
looking at it in the chat right now.
Got it.
Huh. Which chat?
Both?
Our group text chat, it was that Rachamana?
In Zoom or on our?
No, not in Zoom. It's another long one. So it's in
Okay.
our text messages.
Thank you. That's why I was looking in the wrong place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yes.
No worries. Thank you.
Says
Yeah,
new.
it's a long one.
Are
Good.
we ready to
Yep.
start reading it?
I can't find it.
It's in the text messages, Siri Gian.
Well, I'm already with chat. Oh, then I see all of our different people. And then what about the chat? I don't see that.
I just sent it to you in an email. It's the email that you sent me this morning.
Okay. I can't. What about the other people?
Well, you see, it's not in the chat in Zoom,
which is what I think you're looking for.
Oh, then
It's it's in our it's on our our Sangat whatever it is.
A text group.
Yeah, our text group. Thank you.
And Siri Gian, I also just sent it to you in an email.
oh, really? I'm sorry. I mean, I can see that, but I just want to see that from Zoom.
Yeah, right. Is there a chance you could paste it into there? Japa Saraswati.
Here, I wonder if I can do this. It's going to take me a moment. Hold on, guys.
Thank you.
Please stand by. How do I make this bigger? Okay, now I have to get back to you guys.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to do screen sharing. And then here we are. How do I make this bigger? It's right there.
Oh, good idea.
Okay.
Now make it bigger.
This is the best I can do for right now on short notice. Can I read it to you? It's the words that you wrote to me this morning in the email.
Okay, I have my own thing. Okay, so go ahead.
All right. Dear loving light workers, have you been able to use Baba Siri Chand's CNR, Consciousness No Reality, for every day or every moment? Have you been able to use this truly great practice to continue stability and strength for emotional emergencies, especially beginning these incredible, crazy situations, and also know the important truths are correct? Are you finding about your habit of hurt from your family or from your past really annoying, or fear even from a short bit, and so much more? As you realize that these are our difficult times, but do not find that you are healing from yourself so quickly, and you are finding that you are beginning to transform yourself from the fifth dimension during the Aquarian Shift. That is what we have learned through an amazing different kind of mental, spiritual, energetic, and physical consciousness that has begun from the old reality to become pure new you. As you have known that you are your CNR portal, but if you have not wanted to change your past or don't want to move into that outrageous dimension portal for whatever you are not want to change, then you would only continue with the old darkness of your humanity from more suffering. That is happening with the actual two different realities. They will split from the fifth dimension within this outrageous earth, and humans don't even know about these at the same time. On the one end of consciousness, folks have brought free will for our light energies and also with loving compassion to help others. That is being created as the amazing, lovely change for peace, calm, kindness, and more. On the other hand, at the same time, the fifth dimension will split humanity with others will find that those who have stayed back with greed, power, hierarchy, fear, etc., would continue the same old dark trajectory that might even be worse. Yikes. Today, we are listening to Dolores Cannon to begin to see your changing perceptions about your 7 signs for your 5th dimension. What is slowly happening for this Aquarian shift? Dolores, from her client's subconscious, talked from that ET said that we might be on the shift on October 18th, 2026. Although we have found that time may be movable, from Dolores Cannon's book, Convoluted Universe, Book 2, Chapter 30 and 31. And then today we're gonna do a minute of heart breath, and then we'll do a screen share of this video. It's about a 10-minute long video with Dolores Cannon, and then Siri Gian has given me time signatures to pause the video um for 45 to 60 seconds to allow processing. And then after that, we'll do 1 minute of heart pumping, 5 minutes of consciousness, no reality, which includes strong heart breath, which is belly breathing, inhaling from the nose for 6 seconds, exhaling out the heart center, sliding from fear, letting go of any nasty, difficult old stuff, no reality, no thinking, no everyday self, only feel, just be. Then we'll have 2 minutes to become awareness and understand what happened from everyday self using our notes. How do we like it, guys?
You understand what's happening? Anyway,
Yes.
you
I'm not sure about this split you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Well, we're going to have that next week.
Okay.
But I'm telling you what's going to happen with the 5th dimension is actually split because the dimension is both continue in the earth because it's a dimension. So on the dimension is on the light side because that will be the happening with what we know about this wonderful time. This is all about space and time. It's different. And then also on the other side is pulling together to keep the old way stay there. So there's difficulty on the dark side, and they feel they're different. I know it's crazy, but this is no reality. Do you
Yeah,
want to?
makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
I had the advantage of listening to chapters 30 and 31 from Dolores Cannon's book that Siri Gian referenced this morning, and I really got a lot out of them. So I feel I have an advantage on that. They were really illuminating.
Okay. So, well, that is actually about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, well,
Maybe I'll come up with a plan later. But let's do our minute of heart breath to kind of settle in, and then I'll start the video and I'll pause it at these intervals so that we can take it on. Is that good with everybody?
I think that's fine. Okay,
All right.
because we're going to have to figure that out. Okay? Okay, so the first thing was first have heart breath for how for heart breath, and just begin to stay in heart breath. Oh, thank you. And now the video. Can we go with the video? Can you make it big? Yes. Okay. Now it says 7 signs, and we're going to hear about each sign. And between each one, we will have silence. So, because there's too much happening, so just be a little silence in between each of the 7. Okay, and that's a picture of Dolores Cannon. And please begin.
You ever heard your future self laugh inside your chest? The impossible question is the doorway we're stepping through. By 5th dimension here, I mean a tangible shift in consciousness, where perception stops being strictly linear and problem solving by pure logic, and instead becomes more heart-centered, intuitive, and multi-layered. It's not about geometry or science fiction portals, it's a change in how you inhabit experience. Time feels elastic, meaning gathers in symbols and sensations, and guidance arrives from places beyond ordinary cognition. Noticing that shift matters because it quietly rewrites the rules of everyday life. When you start operating from a deeper inner compass, your relationships recalibrate. You attract and repel with surprising speed. Creative impulses come through more effortlessly. Your health responds to subtle energetic choices. And the decisions you make begin aligning more with long-term soul priorities than short-term social expectations. Recognizing these changes gives you agency. You can ground, integrate, and intentionally cultivate a life that reflects the new map you're already navigating. Sign number 1, heightened intuition and inner guidance. Sometimes decisions stop feeling like decisions at all. They arrive
Wait a
as
minute,
quiet
Japa
certainty that
Saraswati,
precedes thought.
Japa Saraswati.
Yes.
It seems to go quickly.
Yes, that was 116. Oh, is it going to here?
I was just saying that the words are very fast.
I might have it set on no, playback speed is normal.
Can you make it a little slower?
Let me see. Yes, I can.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Okay, so this is the place where you wanted to pause before sign 1.
Okay.
So let's pause.
Sign number 1, heightened intuition and inner guidance. Sometimes decisions stop feeling like decisions at all. They arrive as a quiet certainty that precedes thought. Instead of turning every choice over in your head, you notice an inner voice or a clear knowing that points the way. The usual analysis paralysis loosens, and you move with less second guess. This doesn't mean you abandon reason, but the felt sense of what's right often shows up first. and logic follows to support what your intuition has already chosen. That inner guidance usually speaks through the body and through symbols, a tightening in the stomach that warns you, a sudden warmth that invites you forward, a recurring dream or image that keeps showing up until you pay attention. Everyday life starts to feel threaded with meaning, song lyrics, street signs, or fleeting images that land like instructions. And when you track these signals, noting gut reactions, journaling dreams, or paying attention to small synchronicities, they become a reliable roadmap for ordinary decisions and deeper shifts alike. Sign number 2.
Oh, wait. So just feel that, knowing. And let's
Time
go. Okay.
and shifts. Sometimes time itself seems to change its texture. An afternoon can dissolve into a few luminous minutes, while a single moment of presence expands into what feels like a lifetime. These stretches and compressions aren't disorienting so much as deepening. You become more able to inhabit the now, noticing details and subtleties that previously slipped by. The experience often feels like being inside a slowed, richly hued frame of life where meaning unspools more clearly and the ordinary becomes charged with significance. Alongside this, your relationship to clocks and schedules loosens. You're less driven by the tyranny of the calendar and more guided by an internal sense of timing. Deadlines and plans still exist, but they begin to rearrange themselves around what feels resonant. Synchronicities show up as helpful cues, and right timing matters more than rigid punctuality. This shift doesn't necessarily mean neglecting responsibilities. Rather, it reorients how you meet them, prioritizing presence and alignment so actions flow more naturally and with less friction. Sign number 3. Synchronicity and meaningful coincidences multiply. You start noticing patterns that wouldn't have registered before. The same sequence of numbers showing up on clocks, a stray phrase that keeps echoing in conversations, or people turning up exactly when you need them. These recurrences feel less like random noise and more like a language. Small, repeating clues that catch your attention and invite interpretation. Over time, they shift from curiosity to constancy, weaving a subtle thread through everyday life that points toward deeper connections. When synchronicities pile up, events begin to feel orchestrated rather than accidental. What used to read as coincidence now reads like a map. A meeting, a headline, or a misplaced book becomes a directional signal you can follow. This doesn't mean surrendering judgment. Discernment matters, but it does mean being willing to act on those nudges, testing the guidance they offer, and seeing how your choices change when you treat meaningful coincidences as invitations rather than mere chance. Sign number 4. Emotional clarity and deep compassion. When you've crossed into this frequency, emotions stop owning you the way they used to. Painful feelings still arise, but they surface, make themselves known, and move through with surprising speed, less rumination, less explosive reactivity. Instead of getting hijacked by old triggers, you find you can witness what's happening inside with a steadier nervous system. Feelings inform you without forcing you into drama, and integration happens more naturally as a result. Alongside that clarity, compassion becomes the default setting. You find it easier to sit with another person's hurt without needing to fix or judge them. Holding space feels natural rather than exhausting. That same openness extends inward, so self-forgiveness and gentler inner dialogue arrive more readily. Forgiveness stops being a heroic act and becomes a practical tool for clearing energetic clutter, allowing you to move forward with more presence and less baggage. Sign number energy sensitivity and healing abilities. Spaces and people begin to carry a kind of color or temperature you can feel. Some rooms feel heavy and press on your chest, certain devices buzz in your bones, and strangers may arrive with an energetic tone that tells you more than their words. These impressions arrive as subtle sensations, a pull towards someone who feels expansive, a prickling that warns you to step back, or a sudden lightness when you enter a particular place. Over time, you learn to use these cues practically, choosing where to sit, when to disengage, or when a situation needs clearing, because the felt sense reliably maps the unseen emotional and energetic landscape. Alongside sensitivity, small healing abilities often begin to surface. Your hands or presence can ease tension, a wordless adjustment can shift someone's breathing, and simple energetic shifts bring noticeable relief. This isn't dramatic magic so much as an attunement, knowing where to rest your attention, when to breathe with another person, or how to hold space so someone relaxes. As with any skill, it deepens with practice and ethical grounding. Learn to ask consent, stay rooted and protected, and combine sensitivity with clear intention so your natural ability becomes a steady, compassionate resource rather than a drain. Sign number 6. reality feels multi-layered or dreamlike. Everyday moments begin to feel like scenes in a larger story. A bus stop, a coffee cup, or a fleeting conversation can carry symbolic weight that points to a lesson, an invitation, or a turning point. Ordinary objects and gestures seem to fold inward on themselves, revealing hidden meanings and archetypal textures. People play roles that feel familiar. Places echo older motifs. And even mundane routines read like chapters in an initiation. This multi-layered quality turns life into an ongoing inquiry, where curiosity and interpretation become useful tools for navigation rather than distractions. Along with that, the boundary between dreaming and waking thins. Vivid dreams, visions, or strong deja vu start to inform your choices and feel more than random neurological noise. You might wake with a clear image that later appears in waking life, or experience a flash of recognition that directs your next step. These bleed-throughs often carry practical guidance rather than just spectacle. As with all shifts, discernment matters. Test what lands by grounding, journaling, and gentle experimentation so that dream-wise insights integrate safely into everyday decisions. Sign number seven. Detachment from materialism and alignment with soul purpose. A quiet reordering of values often marks this stage. You feel less defined by what you own, the job title on your business card, or how others perceive you. The urge to accumulate symbols fades, replaced by a preference for experiences, presence, and inner richness. This detachment isn't asceticism so much as a loosening of identity, possessions, and approval no longer supply your sense of worth. And freedom from that dependency opens surprising space for creativity and authenticity. As that shift settles, your outer life begins to reflect an inner calling, and choices about work, friendships, and daily routines start to line up with what truly matters to your soul. You may change careers, simplify relationships that drain you, or build rituals that nourish rather than impress. The result is less performance and more resonance. Actions feel meaningful because they arise from alignment, and living this way steadily reshapes circumstances to support the life you were meant to lead.
Okay. So
You want to do heart pumping?
this is CNR. Begin with the meditation. CNR. Okay, and say what those things are. Say them again.
Consciousness, non-reality,
Yes.
sliding from fear,
No.
no,
Start with heart breath. Strong heart breath. Oh, first of all, we have to do heart pumping. And then after that, we're going to have 5 minutes CNR. And that is strong heart breath. And Next, for slide from fear, let go from any of the nasty, difficult, old stuff. No reality, no thinking, or no EDS, everyday self, but only feel, just be. Did you see uh did you see that from those different things from Dolores? It felt a lot like uh, like the Aquarian fifth dimension. Okay, so and then after that, we're going to have 2 minutes for awareness, understanding. Okay, so now we have 1 minute heart pumping and begin. And now begin CNR, 5 minutes. In, excuse me. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe for 2 minutes for awareness. Have your notes and continue. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. Okay. Aagia Pal, are you ready?
Hmm. Wow. Well, um, as I sat in CNR, uh, it felt like the Pleiadians were observing and being a definite uh, exclamation point underscoring what we just heard. And I heard from them the uh, the words intensity, um, luminosity, non-linearity.
Wait a minute, go slower. I'm sorry. Intensity?
Yes, and yes, intensity, luminosity, non-linearity. They said that these sevens that we humans are um, inclined to make linear. So we have steps 1 to 7, but they said that it's all in when we move into fifth dimension, all of this is uh, similar to a primordial soup. All of these and they call them facets of moving into the one, become more intense. They are clearer. We see them. For example, compassion. For example, the ability we have to know with a capital N, they say, just know before we have facts, we can sense the energy of the situation, and we know that know who to stay away from and who to attract, or who to be with, to help with the ultimate goal of which is our ascension. And as these puzzle pieces, which seem to us right now puzzle pieces, begin to fall into place, listening to, for example, Dolores Cannon, an extremely advanced soul, if they say, if you will, and come to learn to forgive ourselves for all that we have said, done, did, believed in the past that was antithetical to this shift. So the letting go, the frequency, they say, of forgiveness is imperative, is luminous with us and within us, if we are to clear and ascend into this multi-layered, multi-dimensional reality. And this, as David Clements talks about, this dross, they say, yes, part of forgiveness is letting go of this emotional junk, dross, clutter that we have, that so many of us carry. And that because we're so afraid to change, we move into these cycles. And as Dolores once said, people want to leave, they want to commit suicide, and she says, well, if you want to, but you're just going to have to come back again, because this is a process of that we going through to clear out and attune to the higher and higher frequencies. And so, and then they finally say is to be awake and aware and notice these things, these patterns, these synchronicities that come up in our life, and not to just let them go below the radar, or just don't, just be aware with keen eyes all of what is happening, and do not get caught, they say, up in all of what's happening here on the earth plane. And because Mother Earth is in process of clearing herself out, ascending for herself. So so I guess I think that's probably it. So and it was good grounding for us, right? To ground and to journal and to stay awake, allow the insights, and shine, oh yeah, and be beacons of light, of luminosity, and um and we'll be in and we'll just move. We'll all move, but this will be faster if we can follow um suggestions from her. So anyway, and then I thanked thanked the Pleiadians and Dolores Cannon, who I feel is very present here with all of us, and just went into this deep rhythmic breathing, and now I'm here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay. Now, I want to tell you something. You know, I'm so sorry. When I see these, excuse me, when I see these things from videos and books and so on, what happens to me, like all of a sudden, I see that book and I could feel it and do it, and that's it. And I said, oh my God, that's Baba Siri Chand. I said, okay, I'll do that. And the same thing happens like immediately for this video, and so on and so on.
Wow.
So it's otherwise I would just think that was crazy. But now I understand, from soul to understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Gian Das Prem.
Satnam. Hmm. So reviewing, yes, there's a lot there. It's so beautiful to listen to the words of the, reminders of instructions that we may have experienced through our teachings, through our with Dorothy, perhaps. Some of us have. With our other teachings, we can notice the subtleties of the vibrations that are coming through in the messages: peacefulness, grounding, noticing, being, allowing, calmness. And then what we're taking from our learned experience and dismantling that can be daunting for some. But when we get to these places, if all the different stages of the seven, right? And then you'll go back to one, if we have a piece of one of those, if we have a reminder in any one of these seven, or if we have some that go beyond that, right? With what we've learned with our practices, right? And then we can expand on this and come back to it and notice the science in it too, with the expansion of the learning, of the letting go of the past grievances, and coming to a simple way of our change, of this event horizon, this change that we're all creating for the peaceful freedom to flow through all of the beings here that have so gracefully given us the technology that we've been allowed to see, and the eyes of the pain, of the change, of the cycle. But then back to that relationship of the flower and the sun, and that wahiguru, to really to come into that moment. That's a practice, right? Where we have to, because there are times, and for me, it's like the changing, that with that hybridization comes the new warrior. The new warrior, that the caring, the helping, the soothing, the hugging, the smoothing out of that way, the raising the vibration inside of our being. Um, and the visual that I'm being given is glass balls that are empty, that are being filled slowly with the liquids and the colors of the variety of the chakras, and just showing how slowly it fills up in each layer, and that there's, within the volume of that hydraulics and the compression is also, there's learning in there. There's a deep understanding of the different layers of the ways through, around, right, for this, all of these realities to show themselves, the dimensions, and how it comes for us to have this creation, this beautiful part of us that allows us to share this, now that we're noticing all of these things that have been written, that have been said by people, that I like to look back and I like to see what they've said, and being a type of person that's sort of gone through things and come back again, we can notice where we've said things that, wow, that doesn't seem right to me at this time, but at the time I was saying it seemed what may have been a kindness. So the changing of that warrior mentality, and the height that we need to raise up through all of those chakras, and the variety of the chakras, and the behaviors. And then when we get up above that, right, we're able to see down. We're sort of coming out of that mental part of the person, and that coming into the theory of energy and the flow of all that coming together for us to be able to share, and then the channels of the earth. And so for me, I've been looked at a tree and thought I saw a person when I was younger. And now, and we have talismans. We've been taught, these little things that we do, and waves that we're moving energy through items, and this and that and the other thing. So noticing the value and the worth, right? I'm coming back to that, the use of that, where that erases the value and the prominence of the opinion or the praise, right? Because that could come right just through light and energy, but it is coming out of our mouth when we present ourselves to another person. So personally, everyday self, just noticing what I'm putting in my body, and what I'm releasing out of my body, and coming closer to the softness part of that strengthening, and the willingness to be able to help people without the opinion, because I think we're sort of moving to that point where we're at a still point, right, where it's going to spin, and spinning is very important for the movement of, one top spins this way, the other top spins this way, and we're able to just sort of sit in the middle of that, of those energies, of back to the, the scales, and the sound, and the energy, and the way light moves too. That it's part of our learning, right? And this changing of our DNA for this billion member family, and all of this energy that's going to change, the frequency change coming up for our behavior, to the communication, for that freedom to just sort of be spread with the communication, rather than in a monetary way, or these other ways with the weapons. And so de-weaponizing from the inside, and then sort of bringing that sharing out. For me as a man, I'm surrendering, and I'm letting go of the possessions and the weapons, and the weaponization that comes from the mind, and the ownership, and then the opinion too is right in there too. So we are releasing and stepping above that, and it takes a way up to go to see that separation. From within the hydraulics too. And I go just back to the cloud, and how we can sort of get above that, to see how the bird can fly, and noticing what the communication for them with us is, right? Because they're living that way. They've been that way for eons. They're the crustaceans, octopi, some, right? Aliens, what we want to say. So, ole, that's what I'll say. Ole.
Ole, ole.
Ole, ole, yeah. And I will hail from my originator, yeah. Then what I like to call the three sisters, because that's the direction that I look. And as I've been told, I am from Orion, and we can start waking up to the speaking of these other beings in a 3D way, because there are objects approaching us, and at all times, some of them are showing us lights, a falling star that came into a firefly and flew right at me, and I was just saying, "Whoa, what the heck was that?" It was actual. It's okay. It's moving energy, but there are other things that we will see this unseen sort of energy, right? That we're feeling, and then we can come into that other people that don't have senses are finding a way for that light code, vibration, DNA change to happen so that we can learn more about our DNA. And our behavior is going to be the thing that will expand on the DNA, other than, these combinations of chemicals and items and ways that we're mixing them together now to create new types of medicine and travel or what have you, be it the way that this is changing the body and the DNA. Yeah. And Wahe Guru with that, right? Of, it's like the inner space. We can even go to visuals to see the movies or something, or nano cameras now, right? We don't. So I will try to lose my opinion the best I can, but that way of the flower and the relationship between the sun and the flower and how free that is a reminder to me of that, the Waheguru. And thank you so much for this way of learning and being able to see the numbers and the colors and the tones, and then sit with people. Been lucky that I'm able to sit, once a month and do a toning circle, and once a week to go do a half-hour kirtan with 30 to 40 people. And we're trying to raise that vibration and just going out into nature and walking, with our signs are coming from our heart, from our smiles, from our eyes, and from our actions. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very
Is that
good.
dear? Okay. Rachmani. Rachmani.
Sorry, it took me a while to find the right buttons. I'm really enjoying meeting all of you, hearing your voices, and realizing that Siri Gyan, in spite of the different health challenges you've been through and relocating your whole life, you've gathered community around you again in such a beautiful way. Everything that I heard on the recording made sense to me. I feel closer than many of you to looking at aging and deathing as an opportunity to serve in the great remembrance of unity. And a song that I sang yesterday for our song circle calls upon death as a lover. Oh, you who breathe me, you who give each breath, teach me to be the perfect lover, teach me to love like death. And so it's talking here about death of the human body as an opportunity to learn about love and to serve. So one of the people in our song circle has decided to cease eating and drinking because she's in so much pain from neuropathy and has been dealing with this for years and tried all kinds of things. And so she's feeling guided to leave her body. So I have a different perspective right now on what was called suicide. My mom in her 80s coined the term altruicide, where there can be a time where terminating one's physical vehicle can be an act of altruism. And I also hear what was said about if people want to skip out because they don't feel up to the task, or it's too hard, or it's too painful, or they feel like they can't, that is a very different situation. I've had a number of times where I just felt like I can't do this. And then I heard the divine presence say, of course you can't, but we can. And so that's what I call the deity of we. And so now I'm part of all of you in this collection of deities of we that we celebrate together. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you, dear. Okay. Harimandir. Excuse me. I'm sorry about Rachmani. Do you use CNR? Use CNR? Consciousness, no reality. That try for you and also for your person, for neuropathy. Try it. See what happens.
I think the meditations that we're doing are different packagings of the same, focusing on the limitless space consciousness awareness that we are.
Oh, good.
And not getting caught in any of the specifics. So so many of us are with parallel paths. Oh, maybe here's Harimandir. I see her bright face on my phone.
Okay.
You there, Harimandir?
I just took off the
Okay.
mute button.
Okay. And you're going to Rachmani about heart. Using heart, total love. Okay? Because at that point, supposedly, we are having loving for health and healing. Okay.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Harimandir.
Yeah, the video was lovely, and it's kind of like the stages of not stages, the rules for the Aquarian age kind of thing. And it would be nice to have them written out to move through them. But yes, they all made a lot of sense. And the coincidences becoming guides and solutions. Certainly compassion in these days, but not over. With what just happened in Minnesota, I'm thinking where so many people are drowning in compassion. So the seventh one, detachment from not that one. It was I don't know. There was another one that said not to. drown in the emotion. And certainly like Rachamana, I am the same kind of place looking at death and dying and changing and how we look at the world. And certainly detachment from things is a huge awareness. My daughter was here for a month from South Korea, and my other daughter and grandsons are very definitely in that a very different place as far as attachments, where I was 20 or 30 or 50 years ago. So figuring out that they aren't the identity they once were. And the idea of number 5, the healing abilities, holding the space in places of meetings and that kind of thing. That reminds me of the heart. What is it called? It's heartbeat resonance, essentially. I can't think of the right name right now, but
Heart breath?
no, it's not heart breath. It's something that is parallel to heart breath that was taught, has been taught, and was taught at very expensive seminars, but
Heart coherence.
yes,
Oh, coherence. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, but yeah, using heart breath or the concept of adding to the simple heart breath the conscious slowing of the breath that affects the room.
Yeah.
In a more, I think of all them as a more mechanical way, or that isn't the right word, but with the intention of slowing people's breaths or their heartbeat. It's not the heartbeat, but really it's the breath.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Good. And maybe did you use the red ruby crystal
No.
of the heart? Yeah. Yeah, we found that. Okay. Because that's basically, excuse me, this is basically from your heart. And we also got it from the Dr. Clemens, that physicist, and for Baba Siri Chand for coherence, like coherence, like for lasers, and for inside of us is our red ruby crystal for heart coherence. These are important to change in the dimensions. Okay, thank you. Okay, so Japa Saraswati, what's happening here?
Satnam. Well, I kept on coming back to the chapters of Dolores Cannon's book that I listened to this morning because I think the second one, the second sign was about time moving in a different way. And I want to go back and listen to the chapter again because I only heard it once and quickly, not really enough to get the whole idea. But what she seemed to say was that the time has changed because of a shift in the atomic clock that many years ago, the atomic clock would keep a 24-hour day, but now because of a frequency change in the way that things have sped up, that what we used to experience as 24 hours is now only 16 hours.
Hmm.
And that was so that kept on coming back to me. And then another point that was made in chapter 30 was about the need to be light and to be lighter, and I understood it, during the CNR as like how do I say it, a way to be more adept because things are speeding up. So it's almost a way to not be weighed down and heavied down with a lot of extra weight. So the need to be light and the way to part of the message was, this message came to me a couple of weeks ago, but what Baba showed me about the food is once again that like tamasic things, and he showed me even as thought forms. That was another point from the chapter, was that thought forms have an energy that perpetuates long beyond them, but I understood it also with food. So what he showed me is, of the three gunas, that there's sattvic, which is the most light, and then there's rajasic, which is energetic and sort of householder energy, and then there's tamasic, which is like dark and heavy. And he showed me that things that are tamasic, whether they're food or they're thought forms, that would have an immediate, uh, that only feels good on the immediate front, but in the long run, that's going to make you feel really bad in the long run to do tamasic thought, to do tamasic actions, to do tamasic food, like any of the tamasic stuff, that is so stuck, and that's characterized. Part of tamasic is that it's oily and sticky, and it's characterized kind of by being stuck. So what I really understood was like to just go totally for the sattvic in order to be just more adept. And then so I was talking this morning or last night to a friend of mine who's living in Amritsar, and she was saying that they went to a pilgrimage to a gurdwara where a really important I think it was a guru. No, it wasn't a guru. It was a really important holy man was cremated there, and they made a gurdwara on the spot. And what I understood, so I'm right now, I'm in amongst the trees, and the wind is blowing, and the snow is getting knocked all off the trees, and just this beautiful swoosh swoosh, and it's just moving all around. It's really beautiful. And I saw a video yesterday or the day before, because it's been below zero, of a man going outside with boiling water, and he takes the pot of boiling water and he throws it into the air. And at first you see it start to crystallize, and then you see those crystals just vaporize and ascend. And it was just that ascension. It was like, wow, that's alchemy right in front of us. It went from liquid to solid to gas, like in the blink of an eye, in just an instant. And that's what it felt like, that Gurdwara where the holy man was cremated, it was this place of ascension and this place of alchemy and transubstantiation. And I just kept coming back to the chapter where, it was talking about dimensional changes, dimensional shifts, and how important it is to be to be light um in all things, and be ready for that shift, as opposed to that tamasic energy that's going to be stuck. Because another thing that the chapter said was that it was that the change doesn't happen all at once. So that's why it's important to be sattvic now, is because um there's a there that it's going to take time, and so then we'll be at a time that in the future when we'll wish that we were being sattvic now, in order to ascend, basically, is now is the time to start. I know that felt very messy to me, but that was my message.
Okay. Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, and then also with CNR, I wanted to message the group but I didn't have just exactly the right words. So I might work on it a little bit more. But like with Baba was showing me I was like moving this past week, and a lot of travel, a lot of hustle bustle, like a lot of activity. And I had a couple of hard-ish moments. And what I would just do is come into CNR, and it felt like it just took the pressure off. Oh, my thought is so half-baked, but it was like being in awareness, but without everyday self being entangled in it. And it was so much easier for me to navigate these difficult situations. And I guess that was part of what else the chapter said was basically, as things are getting more and more difficult, um, it almost felt like they didn't use consciousness, no reality as a term, but it felt like they were saying to embrace that. I want to call it almost a healthy detachment, but it's also a total presence at the same time. Yeah, that's what it feels like to me, is healthy detachment but total presence at the same time, as things get more and more difficult. And I just really felt that in my move this past weekend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. That reminds me from Dr. Clements
Mm-hmm.
that I thought it was very interested that he was talking about water. It was very important.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he said, water is compressed light. How about that? And he was talking about, this is also said before, for magnetic resonance. And that happens with water, uh, because humans or animals have like 80% of water. And stay with the light. Okay. Now I just wanted to ask you something. Do you think is it possible to have several or whoever wants to listen to, excuse me, to that Dolores canon to,
Yeah.
or it's,
I can Frankenstein it. So you know what I could do is I could live stream it on Zoom because I already have the audiobook and then not everybody would have to get it. And then I would send us the video link and anybody who wants to listen to it can listen to those chapters.
okay, now, does that mean at a particular time or whenever we want?
Whenever, like I would make the video maybe today, sometime today. I have Satya at 2. So I would make it sometime today and then the video would be up for other people to listen to it. And I might make it private because it's a subscription and I think it's probably rude to Dolores Cannon to put up her chapters for everybody. But if I just make it for us where you can watch it with the link, I wouldn't feel bad about that.
And also the healers, right? The
Oh
healers.
yeah, I'll send it to everybody or I'll connect with you and we'll figure out how to connect it to everybody.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Everybody, it's beginning like, what do you say? What do you say? It's coming. It is the dimension. We're coming there. Okay? So, God bless you. So now, Aagia Pal, can you lead our song?
Sure. Okay. Wow. So a couple of breaths, just deep rhythmic breaths. And inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Inhale. Love you. Bless you.
Love you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful time. Oh, dimension. Okay.
That's awesome. You're the best. See you
Have a
next
great
week.
week.
You
Okay.
too.
Satnam.
Satnam.